All right, Dr. Green, we are back. We are being recorded and on YouTube, and we are, hold on one second. Okay. And we have some responses for you. For the sake of time, I didn't type things out. So can you bring up what you showed us, everything that went through, and I'll respond to it from your copies. Let me make you the co-host. Hold on. Okay. All right. Can you make that a little bigger, please? All right. So for the teacher protection, we wanted to offer a counter to this, Dr. Green. And what we wanted to do was where you have within 21 days of the first drug test, we want to change that to 9 weeks of the first drug test. All right. And then we also want to strike when the injury is caused by the same student.
So that goes against what you presented. We've all along, we've talked about the same student, the same type, the same case. So
well, that was an example that we were using, and but what we're saying is, okay, so if you're my student and you kick me in the shin one day and I have to go get drug tested, and then Melissa twists my arm the next day, then I got to go get drug tested again. I mean, so that's what the concern is.
So keep in mind, related to what we've already discussed, a teacher has the ability to say they were injured or not. Kicking in the shin, are they going to go and say, I'm injured and I need medical treatment?
Maybe.
Well, so
okay. So you're saying that,
remember, we agreed to language.
This would only be if an actual injury occurs.
Correct. That they have declared, self-declaration, that they need medical treatment, that they were injured on the job.
So
go ahead, Kyle.
Dr. Green, just to try to maybe find a solution. Are you objecting more to it being the same student or the 9 weeks?
So we're talking about student right now. We're not talking about length of time.
Okay. Well, I understand what you're saying, but if you could consider those two, and are you following all right with me just verbally telling you this?
Yeah. Anthony, can I pipe in for a second? Dr. Green, when we were talking about this, it was, obviously it's more than just our self-contained classrooms. We gave a myriad of examples as to why we wanted this language, but I'll use for this particular discussion, our self-contained VE teacher as an example, not to mean that it couldn't happen to a general ed teacher as well. Many, many times, in fact, I would say the majority of times, these teachers are getting assaulted by multiple students in the classroom. So if on Thursday, student A broke a teacher's finger, and then, a month or so later, student B hit her kneecap so hard that it shifted. It's not reasonable. Like the same student, I think there must have been something lost in translation, because that was never the intent of the discussion when we were talking about it. Especially for our self-contained teachers.
So what if we leave it at 21 days and and take out the language related to the same student? I'll offer that back as a counter.
Can we have time to discuss that in a bit?
Yes. Oh, back to me, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm doing it this way. It's just trying
That's okay.
to.
So the teacher protection, the other one you accepted. You don't need that one back up, right?
Which one?
The camera at the mat, you already.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
that was good. We accepted that one.
Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Yes, you can see that?
Yep. We want to resubmit this MOA. While once again, completely understand that this was the decision of our governor and state legislature to not provide this payment to our teachers who are non-classroom teachers and other folks. And it definitely has put the district and the union in a difficult spot when the governor made the decision to do this. But we'd still like BPS to correct the mistake that the governor made and make sure that these hardworking folks who missed out on this get this $1,000. And not taking away from the $1,000 that BPS did give as a bonus at the end of last year. That was definitely much appreciated. But still, these folks received $1,000 less than everybody else just because of their position. So we'd like to resubmit that.
Okay, I do just want to remind you that all of the discussions last spring were about the fact that our board was recognizing these people and correcting exactly what you just said, correcting the error in judgment of the governor's office.
Well, no, because the governor's bonus came out after BPS decided to do this. So
it was finalized, but there had been all the discussion up to that point.
I don't believe that to be accurate. Okay, so we'd like to resubmit that. Okay. Okay, and then the 9-hour, is this 9-hour day? We would first of all, we want to counter with instead of the $750 retention bonus, we're going to ask for $1,000. And we would be okay with I believe you said you wanted to remove the language about the planning time.
Yes.
We would be okay with removing the language about the planning time.
Okay. And the other one we agreed to.
Yes, the Saturday school. Okay.
Hang on, I have to pick another screen, so just 1 second. Are you able to see that?
Oh, I wanted to talk about the supplements.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pull that up. Hang on, Anthony. For some reason, I can't get Excel to open. Hang on. Can you see that?
No,
All right, I gotta stop sharing and start it again. Screen 3. Now can you see it?
yeah, yeah. What about the other supplements though, too?
What other supplements?
The ones
Oh.
that we offered.
So I didn't put any, I just read those. I
Oh,
read,
you didn't
I
have-
didn't, no, no,
Okay.
I did not. I just read those. The sport specific supplement I said we would do. The ESF
Okay.
teacher supplement, I countered with the content specialist,
All
which is
right.
up here.
So I'll go through these, okay?
Okay.
So, sorry about that. So the coaching thing, I think we cleared that one up. So we're gonna withdraw that. You said that's already being done, and if there's issues, we'll correct that. As far as for the content of the differentiated pay for ESF positions, we are asking that, or for original proposal, that it is all the ESF positions. You know, it's not a huge difference in money. And I was going to let Bill talk a little bit and Melissa about rationale for why we believe it should be all ESF positions.
Well, so my comment about that is that the district expects a higher level of expertise as well as experience in these positions. And in many cases, these same people lose out on other forms of compensation that have been made available in the past. For instance, best and brightest, they lose out on that because they're not classroom teachers. They don't qualify for those types of money. So when these folks take district level positions, they often result in lower pay. So this is an effort to try and make that a little bit more equitable. But you know, either one of those arguments should be enough, but the two arguments together should be enough to include all of these people. We're asking for a higher level of expertise as well as experience. And in many cases, they're taking a pay cut when they come to the district.
Melissa, did
And-
you want to say something? Go ahead.
Sure. In addition, the level of responsibility is increased when the teachers come up to the district level. So it's not just the level of expertise that's being expected, but also the level of responsibility in the job duties that is being asked.
Point.
Any questions, Dr. Green?
No, I do not.
All right, and then we're gonna withdraw the band school choice. And moving on to the blast program, $1,100. So my understanding is what you're saying is we'll sit down with you, go through these blast teacher schedules, and if we can't find them a daily planning time, they will get the optional class supplement. Is that correct?
So yes, but let's not forget, if it's a planning time here or there are ways to take care of that in the contract, which is like comp time. So you were specific in that there are class teachers out there that are working 3 or 4 full days without a planning time. But a planning time here or there doesn't equal 7 out of 7.
Well, I could agree with you as long as here or there doesn't mean they're missing it 3 or 4 days a week.
So we will sit down and go through the blast schedules where there seem to be problems.
Okay. All right. Now, as far as the supplements that you proposed, had a question about bowling. Is bowling, do they have girls and boys teams, or is it a co-ed team? How
It's a
does
co-ed
that-
team. Yeah, it's only ever been one coach for bowling.
And this is the amount that they're currently getting.
Yes.
All right, so we would accept your proposals on the supplement schedule.
Did you want me to put anything else up?
Well, now as far as the salary proposal, if we offer you a counter, are you prepared to respond to that tonight?
Depends on what your counter is. So can I show you
That's-
something?
That's not a fair response.
Well,
That-
if it's about recurring funds, no. But let me share something with you based on the conversation that we had right before caucus. So hang on, I got to pull it up. Okay, you had mentioned right before caucus that it didn't seem like the district was spending the money that they say they were going to spend. So this sheet right here is 100 fund only, and it lays out the expenses from last year. Do I need to make it a little bigger? How about that? Related to TSIA. So we said that TSIA was going to cost, see these lines? $11 million with fringe in groups 1, 2, and 3. We said the district was going to contribute $1.4 million. And when all of the data was compiled of all of the payroll from last school year, this is exactly what was spent.
That's
This sheet is awesome, but you know what this sheet doesn't show? And
attrition.
this is why we never had another meeting with BPS, I'm assuming. Because this sheet doesn't show the amount of teachers that left. This sheet doesn't show the amount of teachers that retired and the new teachers that came in. This sheet doesn't show that overall your payroll costs for teachers, Fund 100, just like you're talking about, only went up 3 million. This is a very interesting sheet. It shows that the raises went to the teachers, but it doesn't show all the other costs that decreased because of the fewer teachers, the amount of turnover, retirement, and the savings when you replace a veteran teacher with a new teacher.
So it's not a savings when you replace a veteran teacher with a new teacher, because you can see group 3, $710 is what a veteran teacher was going to be getting out of the 20%, but a new teacher was going to get anywhere from $39,226 up to $46,550. And this
So-
exactly shows that
Yeah,
in
but
and out.
Dr. Green, this only shows the difference of that portion of a new teacher's salary to an old teacher. This doesn't talk about what BPS was paying for a new teacher versus an old teacher. This doesn't take into account that money. This is like showing me a little piece of a puzzle and saying we're being transparent and showing the whole picture. I
No,
really
what-
don't think you want to go down this road. But I mean,
Kyle?
if this is what BPS is going to do, go for it.
So the documents that we presented to your finance people and Dr. Mullins will show that in 2018-19, you guys spent $233 million for salaries. 2021-22, you paid $230 million for salaries. So the amount you're spending for salaries overall is not increasing. You are acting like you're budgeting for increasing salaries, but the actual amount spent is not what it is. And reiterate what Kyle is saying is you're cherry picking a select group of teachers. You're not showing the 160 classrooms that weren't filled.
But if
you
if you consider what money was brought to us provided to us last year by the legislature, it was TSIA. Through that TSIA, we said what we were going to spend, 11 million plus, and we can show what was spent. there was very little, if you recall, recurring funds from BPS that went to the salary. And if I remember correctly, maybe $140, if I remember that sheet from last year.
So Dr. Green, I don't want to keep having this argument, but if you in 2021 spent, 227 million on salaries, and you're supposed to spend 13 on salaries because the TSIA money, that would be 240 million, but you only spent 230. And it is because of an attrition and unfilled positions. So either way, you didn't spend it. You're looking at individuals, and we're looking at the whole picture. Let's put it that way.
So the
So I
answer
go
to your
back-
question is, if you are talking about non-recurring funds, we're hoping to settle tonight. If you're talking about recurring funds over and above what we've already put on the table, considering we have $265,000 of recurring funds to work with. And by the way, if you think we're going to add all of the ESF teachers, we've spent that as well. Not that we're agreeing to that, but if that would be gone, then we will not have hopes of settling tonight.
Okay, so I always have hopes of settling for a fair amount for our teachers. So to be clear, if we put across an offer that is non-recurring, you are prepared to negotiate in good faith.
We are prepared to negotiate non-recurring funds in good faith.
All right, so we are going to put across an offer, a non-recurring amount. The reason why we're doing that is this argument will go on forever about whether these funds are recurring or non-recurring funds. Although we believe we are right, we believe a magistrate backed our interpretation of that a few years back. We do recognize that the district is putting in $6 million of recurring money into our health insurance trust fund, which is important and is preventing premium increases this year or any increases in our health insurance. So we do recognize that, and it's unfortunate the money had to go to the health insurance trust fund because we would have $6 million in recurring funds to work with right now. But we are going to put a good faith one-time bonus across to you guys. And we hope that you're going to negotiate it in good faith like we are. And, I'd say to our teachers, this is not what we feel you guys deserve by any means. We would always want to see the money be recurring dollars. But, our analysis of the district budget shows that what we believe the district thinks is that they cannot afford recurring. So we do want to move forward with what we both believe can be done. So we're going to put across the offer. Kyle, I'm going to share my screen with you, so or make you the co-host so you can share your screen. And actually, before Kyle brings us up, I will say that as far as the TSIA money, that everybody needs to be aware, that is how the state has decided to distribute that money. That if we could give back the $45, we would, or because that's just, it's absurd, but that is how the state sent the money and the parameters they sent it in. So we will remember that as we head into the legislative session. Kyle, you got your screen up?
Are you good, Anthony?
Yeah, this is the
So
old
this is
proposal.
what we originally proposed. It was a $1,780 reoccurring raise for highly effective teachers with a one-time bonus and a longevity supplement. So while we reject, as Anthony said, the position that the district does not have reoccurring dollars or cannot, incorporate the raise with the number of attrition and loss and classrooms without teachers. And the efforts, I think, as Anthony said, to settle this, we would ask the district to match the highly effective raise of 1,780 with a one-time money and a $2,000 bonus to go along with that. So a total of 3,780. And our thinking is, twofold on this. One, we all realize that when a teacher doesn't get reoccurring raise, this has long-term effect on their FRS and their, future years with the district. But we also realize that the fringe cost on a bonus is less to the district. So that's why we landed here. And we heard what Dr. Green was saying is that the district may have more non-reoccurring money than reoccurring money at this point in time. I would also highlight that, as we talked earlier, the district has already shifted quite a few, are planning to shift quite a few teacher slots and staff slots and directors and administrators to the ESSER fund, which will allow the district to have more non-reoccurring dollars depending on how they decide to budget that. So we believe this is reasonable, and we believe this is something the district can completely afford if the argument is that this reoccurring money doesn't exist, but this non-reoccurring does. And we would also highlight out that there is 427 teachers that are paid out of funds other than the general fund. And it has always been our belief and will continue to be our belief that those federal funds should be allocated to cover the compensation of those employees that are tied to those grants and use those federal funds on a day-in basis. Now, I know the district doesn't do that all the time, but that is what we've advocated for multiple years now.
Anthony,
Mhm.
the TSIA, are you good with those figures?
I'm not objecting, but I want to discuss all this together.
Okay. Are you going to send that to me?
Yeah, Kyle will send it over.
And is that it?
That's it. We were going to talk about the assault language, the drug testing language, and you're going to talk about this, and well, gave you some other stuff too, some other counters.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So maybe 30 minutes, or do you need?
Yeah, we'll get back with you.
All right.